first like to say welcome to the webinar, Where the Future, Life, Non-Formal Education in Slow Fashion. It's the second part of this webinar. We started already last week on Thursday. So some of you maybe were present at the previous part. If so, then welcome again, and the newcomers also welcome. I would like to say that this webinar aims to gather inspiring initiatives that to share projects that help educate about sustainable fashion and also towards sustainable lifestyle as such. And the project, the webinar is part of the Erasmus Plus project, Where the Future, where the main activity was a training for youth workers that helped to educate them with equip them with tools and knowledge and skills to address challenges in European fashion industry. And I'm very happy to welcome today's speakers, because all of them are representatives of very powerful organization and initiatives that are trying to tackle the issues in fashion industry. And I would like to show you the agenda first to know who you can expect here today. So first of all, you will hear presentation of Fashion Revolution Czech Republic, specifically Martin Beneš, who is a country coordinator of Fashion Revolution Czech Republic. And he's also a lecturer at the University of Greater Manchester with the background in fashion design, a lot of experience. After that, you will hear Paula Leal, who is executive coordinator for Fashion Revolution Brazil and also coordinator for education activities. And after that, I would like to welcome Nazemi, Czech Association, and Anna Lazorova, who is an expert in working conditions in the garment industry, and together with Eliška Hanzlova, who is educator in global education and also methodologist. And the very last one is Anna Maria Mileusnic, who is campaigner against plastic pollution from Zelena Akcia. She will talk about volunteering initiatives in Croatia. So welcome everybody. Thank to all speakers to accept our invitation, and also thank to all the guests and everybody who came today to listen. My name is Alexandra. I represent Youth Progress Association, which is a youth organization from Prague, Czech Republic, that is based, whose activities is based in non-formal education and international cooperation. And we are initiator of the project Where the Future. We are implementing the project in collaboration, in partnership with Fashion Revolution Czech Republic. This is how we managed to connect to run some interesting follow-up activities. So I would like to say hello once again, and let's start with the first presentation of Martin Beneš. Just before, I would like to take a quick notice. Each presentation will take 20 to 30 minutes, and then there will be break for questions. So you can keep your questions for after, or if you don't want to speak up, you can write the questions in the chat, and we will read them after. And after this presentation and all of them, you will be sent the presentations. You will be sent links to the recording on YouTube and more materials, and you can reach anytime you want, even after. So now I would like to finally move to Martin. So welcome, Martin, and you can present your slot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alex. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second Where the Future Live webinar. It's great to have you here. My name is Martin Beneš, and I'm currently the Executive Director and Country Coordinator at Fashion Revolution Czech Republic, a role I've held since January 2024. In addition to that, I've also been working as a trainee lecturer in fashion, textiles and sustainability at the University of Greater Manchester since December 2023. I'm really excited to be part of today's conversation on non-formal education in the slow fashion space, a topic that sits right at the intersection of my work in both education and activism. So Fashion Revolution Czech Republic is the national branch of Fashion Revolution CIC. We began our activities in 2014, and we officially became a legal entity and a country office in 2017. Our work has consistently focused on clothing and textiles research, fashion industry transparency, and education for systemic change. That's a topic area I'll be focusing on today. I will walk you through a few of our educational initiatives that bridge formal and non-formal education. So this slide outlines the core pillars of what we call education for systemic change, which is an approach we've embedded across many of our projects. The pillars are action-oriented learning, continuity, collaborative processes, relevance, critical and systemic thinking, and finally, evidence-based pillar. I will go through them one by one now. So the next slide, please. Action-oriented learning empowers learners to engage with real-world issues and drive change in their communities. Examples might be organizing local swaps, mending days, or awareness campaigns, or running school or community-based projects tackling textile waste. Next slide. So the second pillar is continuity, embedded in long-term regular learning to support lasting transformation. It's inspired by transformative learning theory. Examples here might be for regular workshops in youth clubs or NGOs, not one-offs, but sequenced learning, or yearly campaigns like Fashion Revolution Week. Next slide, please. The third pillar of our education for systemic change is collaborative processes and collaborative learning, emphasizing co-creation, dialogue, and peer exchange. Examples here are peer-to-peer youth workshops like those created in our Erasmus Plus project, or dialogue between activities like debates, role play, or discussion circles. Next slide. The fourth pillar is relevance, connects to learners' lived experiences and local contacts, with examples such as youth exploring their own wardrobes, families' clothing habits, or cultural dress traditions. The fifth pillar, critical and systemic thinking, encourages questioning systems thinking and interdisciplinarity, challenging dominant narratives, and connecting across topics. And finally, the last pillar is evidence-based, rooted in established pedagogical theory and effective education practice. This pillar is embedded throughout everything we do. We draw on well-established pedagogical frameworks such as project-based learning, social constructivism, Bloom's taxonomy of cognitive skills. These help us design learning that's inclusive, engaging, and relevant. You can see throughout all pillars that we always back up all our educational activities with some pedagogical theory or practice. So the first project I would like to introduce is our Recycle Academy project. We worked on it together with Fashion Revolution teams from Slovakia, Germany, Hungary, and Croatia. It's an Erasmus Plus project aimed at teaching young people about sustainable and circular fashion. Each partner helped create resources that can be adapted to different groups and learning environments. Recycle Academy also helps build a network of young educators and learners across Europe who want to make fashion better and more responsible. It has 3 sub-projects: Recycle Lessons, Recycle Imperfections, and Game of Clothes. So on this slide, I can see some information about the first sub-project, Recycle Lessons, which are designed for young people aged 15 and over. These lessons are peer-led and participatory, meaning young people learn from and with each other. They're also open source, so anyone can access and adapt them. They're also meant to be used by educators in various settings, such as schools, NGOs, youth clubs, and more. Importantly, the lessons connect with school subjects like maths, art, geography, and others, making them easy to integrate into formal education. The goal is to inspire learning, encourage reflection, and promote critical dialogue around systemic change in the fashion and textiles. Now, if you can please, Yara, click on the first link, Fashion Revolution CIC website, so we can see where we can, if you can scroll down, this is our official Fashion Revolution Global website. Just click on resources, you can see many Fashion Revolution resources, and if you go down, even more, and even more, I think it should be after this one. No, yeah, even more, sorry. Yes, here we are. So if you can scroll down a little bit. Yes, so you can see you can download these toolkits. If we can open, for instance, arts and crafts, that would be great. So we can see how the toolkit is structured. It was the first one. Yeah, it was the first toolkit. Sorry, if you can go back. Yes, the first one. Arts and crafts. Okay, I will skip this, but you will have oh yeah, brilliant, cool. So each toolkit has around dozens of pages with step-by-step activities, reflective tasks, checking prior knowledge. Again, it's backed up with pedagogical theory. We're checking if the learning took place by reflecting, questioning at the end. You can download them, use them for in your own learning setting. There are few variants, few topics within each school subject. Brilliant, we can go back to the presentation. Cool. There's also a link to Recycle Lessons website where you can see the whole database of all of the resources together with videos. Yeah, just a brief look at the website. You can click on the school subject and at the right located column, and yeah, there are many different topics within each subject, as I already mentioned. Brilliant. We can go back to the presentation. And next slide, please. So the next slide, we can see an example of the video resource as a part of the Recycle Lessons project. This one is about, this one was for the arts and crafts lesson again. It was focused on natural dyeing. I can just show you certain bits from the video so you can see the different parts of the lesson.
I have black hollyhock flowers.
You can go to the beginning.
Mother root. This is root of a plant used just for dyeing. Chamomile. Hi, my name is Anya and I'm owner of Calico, a plant dyeing studio based in Berlin. Today I'm going to show you how you can dye fibers with plants. We're going to talk about techniques you can use and how to determine what fibers can be dyed with plants. Have you dyed anything yourself? If so, what did you dye? What kind of colors did you produce? Did you use any specific technique?
Brilliant.
Talk to your friends about family.
So if we will go further, you could see that there will be, so first she introduced us the topic, checked on the prior knowledge, then she would speak about a theory related to natural dyeing, then she would check on knowledge taking place, and we'll finish with reflective questioning. So that's our usual structure of our educational resources. So the second sub-project of Recycle Academy was Recycle Imperfections. I won't be showing you the resources, I'm just running out of time. But this program was designed to for everyone from fashion enthusiasts to beginners, learners, educators, youth leaders. It has three major manuals. The first one is the manual for organizing sustainable events, which provides a detailed step-by-step guide based on our events and our best practice. I really recommend it if you work in a school setting and you're about to plan an event, or you want to introduce slow fashion into your subject. Second manual was a design mentoring manual developed from the pilot of the Recycle Design Mentoring Program, where participants learned sewing and upcycling skills under industry mentors over several months. So after this pilot, we developed this manual. The third manual is about organizing sustainable event, again, suitable for any learning environment. You can go to next slide. Yeah, that's the third sub-project of Recycle Academy. It's a game of clothes. I really recommend you to look it up online. You can download the game, print it, and cut it. This one is all about using games to talk about fashion and its wider impact. It was created to help educators and youth workers bring topics like sustainability, ethics, fast fashion into classrooms, workshops, or any learning space. So we developed this physical version. However, we're still looking for sponsors to invest into a production of this game. But as I said, you can download it online. It's a great resource. It's so much fun, actually. Really recommend you that. We can move to another slide. So the second educational project I would like to introduce is called SOCFASH, Social Growth for Circular Fashion. This was a capacity building program aimed to support a professional development of young needs women, fresh fashion graduates, and early stage entrepreneurs. The goal was to strengthen their employability and entrepreneurship skills, especially in the context of sustainability and circular fashion. What made SOCFASH unique was its intergenerational exchange model. It brought together young participants eager to enter the fashion sector with women who had intensive industry experience, many of whom had worked in the fashion industry for their whole life. And while these experienced professionals brought the practical knowledge, many and entrepreneurship skills, but many of them hadn't had the opportunity to engage with emerging technologies or learn about sustainability and responsible production. So we brought these two groups of participants together to University in Madrid, IED, and they were exchanging knowledge during 1 week long training course. We developed learning materials to support them, and I would say this project had amazing impact. We had a really great feedback from the participants, and we could really see after being in touch with them after the project that it really had a good positive impact on their practice. We can move on. You can see some pictures from our workshop in Madrid. Brilliant. And we're moving to the last project I would like to introduce, and Alex already spoke about it. It's our Where the Future project. So I'm sure you will receive an email after this webinar where you can download this toolkit. It's a great resource. Again, step-by-step activities for variety of learners, for variety of educational settings, practical tips and tricks, additional resources, you name it. And one of the last slides, so I also wanted to talk about some of the challenges and limitations we were facing in relation to our future steps. One of the biggest challenges we face as an NGO is continuity. I spoke about continuity when I was talking about our pillars for education and systemic change. Like many grassroots organizations, we deal with frequent changes in executive coordination, limited and often unstable funding, and a team that is mostly volunteer-based. These conditions make it difficult to maintain consistent long-term educational programs, something that's essential for systemic change, we believe. To address this, we decided to begin to develop a youth ambassador scheme starting from September 2025, a network of Fashion Revolution youth hubs based in practical schools, colleges, and universities. This model is really designed to build local ownership, strengthen continuity, and ensure our educational resources are actively used and adapted. Most importantly, it will embed young people more deeply in the movement, empowering them to lead and shape Fashion Revolution activities in their local areas. Yes, last slide. Thank you so much. That's everything from us at Fashion Revolution Czech Republic. We would be more than happy if you contact us with any questions directly via email, through our website, or on Instagram. You can see the QR code, which will direct you to our Instagram profile. We are also open to collaborate, exchange good practice, or just have a chat. Thank you so much, and I'm passing words to Paula from Fashion Revolution Brazil. Also, no, sorry, Q&A.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Martin, very much for this nice presentation. And I will ask if now already somebody would like to ask something regarding the presentation Martin just had, and the resources, tools, projects, and so on. You have time now. Nothing? Yara, do we have anything in the chat, please?
No, we don't have.
Okay, good. So in that case, we can also leave it because we will have some time after all the presentations. So if something arises, feel free to ask after. And like that, I would like to welcome Paula Leal from Fashion Revolution Brazil. Can we move to the next presentation, please? And yeah. Thank you. And Paula, she will talking about insights from the Fashion Revolution Brazil and their activism, especially decolonial fashion school and the importance of decolonizing fashion education. Paula, welcome.
Hi, thank you. So hello, I'm Paula. I'm the executive coordinator of Fashion Revolution Brazil. I'm very excited to be here. I'm very passionate about the subject of fashion and sustainability. And I'm a truly believer of the power of education as a way to revolution, to bring about systemic change that are so necessary and urgent today. Pass, please. So Fashion Revolution is the largest activist movement in fashion in the world. It's present in almost 100 countries. In Brazil, it's been active since 2014, and it was registered as a civil society in 2018. We operate through research, education, advocacy, communication, and mobilization, and we act to accelerate the transition of Brazilian fashion towards a social and climate justice. So since the beginning, education has been one of the main pillars of our work. I started working at Fashion Revolution in 2016 as a volunteer myself in the educational team, and I'm still here today. Pass, please. So today I'm going to present 4 educational projects we have developed and how we believe that to have a revolution, we need to decolonize fashion education, critical thinking in our society. Because to talk about climate justice, we need to talk about social justice, and to talk about social justice, we need to talk about decoloniality. Pass, please. So the first project I started working as a volunteer myself was the creation of our educational network of volunteers, of student ambassadors and teachers ambassadors to articulate their participation in Fashion Revolution Week. So we would call educational institutions from all over Brazil, introduce the movement to fashion course coordinators, send out toolkits to the teachers, and that's how we've been growing our educational network. Fashion Revolution Week always happens near April 24th to remind everyone of the 2013 disaster in Bangladesh. So such events stop existing. And we never forget as well. So every year, our ambassadors organize activities within their institutions, being responsible for bringing the movement messages into the classroom. So at the beginning of each year, we open an open call for students and teachers. This year, we received 20 applications, and we also make a strong effort to ensure diversity with criteria related to locality, race, and gender. So we create documents and toolkits with activity ideas for them to organize within their institutions. We also have a training agenda for them in many subjects of fashion and sustainability, for them to be very empowered, in our message and the content. It's a very efficient way to spreading the message across the country. So this year we had a significant number. We had 78 student ambassadors, 77 teaching ambassadors, and they organized activities within 139 education institutions all over Brazil. Pass, please. At the end of the week, we send out a form to get information and results. And in Brazil, it's very hard to change what it's taught inside classrooms on a formal format. And every year, we've been having these amazing results that teachers have been having new classes of sustainable fashion, upcycling, because of Fashion Revolution Week and their work within their institutions. Pass, please. They organized many types of actions like workshops and patchwork flags and clothing swap activities. Pass, please. In 2020, we had this project with British Council that was called Youth Revolution Education Program, Educate Revolutionize. Pass, please. The aim was to create educational materials, as Martin showed as well, mainly for younger students, to talk about the impacts of fashion industry, to generate questions about who makes our clothes and what are the impacts as well. Pass, please. We gather students, teachers, and specialists in workshops to create 4 educational games. We build games where we ask students to bring favorite garments and look at the labels to see where it comes from, what it's made of, what is the impact of that. We've created a card game with the results from Fashion Transparency Index. And after that, we did several trainings with teachers all over Brazil in how they can use the material inside their classrooms as well, and they've been using still today. Pass, please. After a few years working with these projects, visiting educational institution, giving lectures and fashion courses, and organizing Fashion Revolution events, we started noticing some things. We started noticing that in fashion courses, they didn't really talk about Brazilian fashion. They used books by American and European authors. They didn't encourage the students to produce content, to research. So we think that we had the idea to create the Fashion Revolution Forum in 2018. Pass, please. The Fashion Revolution Forum is a platform created to foster research, debate, and the dissemination of relevant content on challenging and sustainability solutions within the fashion systems. It promotes Brazilian fashion content, and it aims to position Brazil as a knowledge generating hub, both nationally and globally. We want to give space and we want to value those who are thinking and doing fashion in our country. Next, please. So every May, we open a call for submissions of theoretical articles open to 6 pages, up to 6 pages, and illustration as well of themes. Every year we have themes. Last year was decoloniality, labor, and climate. These works are evaluated by a scientific committee, which is composed of the 30 most prestigious academics in fashion and sustainability in the country, and 10 renowned artists as well. And in October, we have an event, an in-person event in São Paulo, where we present the highest rated works. It's like a TED Talk event with 10-minute presentations. Last year, we also had like a prize, which was awarded up to 20,000 reais to bring solutions, ideas to life. We also publish every year an ebook with the highest rated works as well. The forum has already had 6 editions with more than 1,000 submissions, 500 articles and illustrations approved, 70 presented, and 6 ebooks published. It's an amazing project that brings so many people together to discuss really important matters and to exchange knowledge and Brazilian knowledge, which is the most important. Pass, please, this is some pictures of our events. Perfect. This is our last one. With our experience of our education projects and also a process that we were experiencing ourselves as a team, hiring consultants on race, seeing the lack of deepening of the forum submitted work in relation to race and gender issues, also the lack of deepening of the themes of the activities carried out by our network during Fashion Revolution Week, we decided that it was time to offer a course on decoloniality using fashion as a tool for debate, and thus we created the Colonial Fashion School as a project within the Fashion Revolution Forum. So it was a project to deepen, the knowledge of the people that were writing the articles for forum, but also all of our own network. So the Colonial Fashion School is a learning space focused on, it's still on the last one. It's a learning space focused on transforming fashion created by and for people who seek to rethink the practice and paradigms of the fashion industry. Its goal is to promote systemic change in fashion by valuing diverse knowledge, fostering the colonial inclusive in critical thinking about fashion and decoloniality. The school aims to broaden participant horizons, encouraging reflection on the production of knowledge in the field of fashion and intersection with social, environmental, and cultural issues. In Brazil, it's a country that has gone through years of colonization, as the South Globe was. So we have a very strong history in this regard, structural racism that permeates the structure of our society. So education is very elitist, with few public universities offering the course, and many expensive courses across the country. So the majority of fashion studies are white and wealthy. And in these courses, they mainly study foreign fashion content. So the school goal is to bring back the ancestral knowledge, the diversity and plurality of Brazilian fashion, and the ancestral manual skills that are dying with time. We want to value the fashion of indigenous people who have ancestral fashion technologies. We want to discuss how many things are now considered sustainable fashion, but are actually ancestral knowledges such as upcycling that has this commercial name these days, but it's actually a survival technology of communities for many years, and a lot of more things like that. Yes, please. So here are some of concepts to talk about fashion and decoloniality. I'm going to rush here. So the first one is epistemic dysentery. that it's to question the perception that only cities like Paris, Milan, and New York have the authority to define what's considered fashion. We want to challenge this Eurocentric view and have space for multiple narratives. We want to value ancestrality. We want to recognize indigenous graphic and dyeing techniques as enchanting technologies. It's a way of reevaluating knowledge that has been marginalized through history. Intersectionality as well, because fashion reflects various social dimensions such as gender, race, and class. And we analyze the fashion, as we analyze the fashion industry, we need to look at these intersections and how they shape the experience of different groups. And the colonial sustainability, fast fashion is a production model that perpetuates colonial exploitation, maintaining precarious labor practice. And the system is not only ecologically irresponsible, but also reinforces a cycle of exploitation and marginalized populations, mostly from the global south. So these pillars of the colonial education fashion are fundamental for building a fairer, a more inclusive and sustainable industry. So the Decolonial Fashion School has this purpose to offer a space for us to reflect on these aspects and to transform the fashion industry in Brazil from a decolonial and inclusive perspective. Next, please. So finally, in 2023, we launched the first edition of the school and we opened registration. We had 500 applications in 48 hours. We had to close it and we had to close in 48 hours the registration because we only had 100 spots for people to participate, and it showed how it's such an urgent matter and how people are actually really interested in discussing these matters. In 2024, we had a second, a more structured edition with a personalized website and the participation of 1,000 people. We had recorded classes and live sessions. It was such a success. I think it's the most exciting project that I've had the honor to coordinate with such an amazing team. We've had indigenous teachers, amazing designers and academics from the Black community. And all the classes were very emotional, with students deeply moved, understanding things about themselves, their ancestries, and people giving testimonies about how they were actually truly transformed by the course. And our dream is to make this course available to everyone with subtitles because it's such a very rich and powerful content. Yes, please. Yes, that's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Paula, very much for a brief introduction in everything that you're doing. I think that it's a very interesting topic, and I have maybe before, because now we have a spot for questions. So since our target group are mainly young people, I wanted to ask if anyone wanted to join the movement, do something under or in collaboration with Fashion Revolution, either you're as a coordinator, of course, because there are many others in countries across the globe. So what is it that you're looking for, let's say, in terms of volunteering? What type of collaborations you're looking for to reach out first for people as individual, and then maybe for collaboration in terms of collaboration between organization? That's
perfect. Well, within our volunteer, we have this huge educational volunteer network that have this responsibility to bring about the discussions to their classrooms and their territories as well. So they organize their own activities. So that's how our volunteer program happens. We have student ambassadors, volunteers teacher ambassador volunteers, but we also have the non-educational volunteers that we call local representatives, that we have local representatives all over Brazil as well. And they do the same, right? They organize within their own territory. They have their own volunteer team as well. And they organize activities, all not just for Fashion Revolution Week, but all over the year as well. And we have this teaching and classes for our network all over the year as well. So it's such an opportunity, you know, to have all these activists together sharing content, and because we have a lot of people that have their specialists as well, you know, so they're all teaching and sharing all this content. And within organizations, we understand now that we need to push for public policy all over the world, right? Because we've been questioning, raising awareness, we've been raising questioning, and what is the next move, right? COP is happening in Brazil this year. So we've been talking a lot with other organizations in other Fashion Revolution countries as well, and how we can get together, you know, and push together for public policies, even in education, because we need to have social and environmental education in our schools and in educational institutions, right? So that as well. Sorry for my English, people.
No, it's very nice. Thank you very much. Okay. Maybe if Martin would like to also add something from his point, or the point of his organization. That is...
Yeah, I just want to say I'm a big fan of Fashion Revolution Brazil. You're following you for years. The projects you're participating on, collaborating on, creating are incredible. Ria Atacama is my favorite. I know you just got some awards for that project. I totally get it. Definitely encourage everyone to follow Fashion Revolution Brazil, what they do, if you're into the topic of systemic change in the fashion industry. I don't have any question there. Sorry.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Are there any questions from anyone? If not, then we can still leave it for later if something comes up. Marta Quaresma is writing, this is such an interesting topic. What's your thoughts? Okay, interesting. There is a question. What's your thoughts on cultural appropriation?
Perfect. That is such a good question, because myself, I am a white person, right? So the whole school of decolonial fashion, Jesus, my English is running out of me. It was such a learning process for me as well, personally, right? And we had this amazing class from an indigenous designer, and she talked about it a lot, you know. She talked about how us as white people have
Pablo, your microphone is off. Sorry, I don't know. Yeah.
You know, it does a lot. She said how we have a very wrong view about it, because here in Brazil we have Carnival, right? Just as an example, we have Carnival, and we have this thing that if people dress like white people dress themselves as indigenous people with the cocarde and all of that, it's cultural appropriation, and it is for sure. Or if people have cocarde in their house, it's cultural appropriation and all of that. And she was in this class, she teaches us that the cultural appropriation is when you take symbols of cultures and you resell it, right? And those communities aren't getting any money from it, right? They aren't being part of the process and all of that. So so that is what cultural appropriation is, right? So when you take those symbols and those communities are not getting any money from that, are not being part of the process. But you can actually do it right, you know. It's when you want to do like a line, I don't know how to say it, right? I don't know, a line, but you want to take a symbol and you want to value that community, right? So you're going to reach out to them, you're going to do like a good contract for them in aspects of the law, you know, like, yeah. And they are getting money from it, they're getting they're being respected through the process, right? So yeah, so that's, I don't know if I'm being clear here, but that's what we are learning from cultural appropriation in our school. That's what we've learned, and it was very, you know, it was very clearing. I don't know if I answered your question or not.
Thank you, Paula. Yeah, if there is anything else, yeah, there is no further question. So if that's all from the guests now, thank you very much once again, Paula, for sharing also this insight. And I would like to welcome the representatives of the, okay, yeah. So Marta is writing, yes, it's insightful, thanks. One last. How can individuals like me or you, how can individuals like me support your mission? How can sustainable fashion move toward cultural appreciation? Or others. Yeah, like me or others.
I found this on the web for how can individuals like me support your mission? How?
Yeah, well, I think that we should all of us, we should educate ourselves, right? We should all go through a process of decolonizing our perceptions, our critical thinking, and value, right, this ancestral knowledge, what's being doing about what's being done and what the Black community is doing, the Indigenous community doing, and valuing, creating demand for what they're producing as well. And I think that questioning, right, the system that we have now, I think that's how I think we should educate ourselves, that's for sure.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
I also add something to it. Sorry.
The line is very blurry at times. How do we balance? There is misinformation.
There is a lot of misinformation for sure. That's why I think a project like this one is so meaningful, you know, because we gather really good content about this. It's been life-changing for all of us, really, in our team as well. And yeah, maybe we should translate our content for English, and maybe we could, I don't know, something like that. Go, Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to say, honestly, I think support starts with maybe recognizing that sustainable fashion isn't just, well, sustainable fashion is a problematic term, but it's not just about buying better. It's about pushing for a system, and also what Paula said, being more educated, inform ourselves about where the clothes was made, who made it, and maybe change our buying habits and consider the whole supply chain. And yeah, I would maybe add that. but I feel like I just evaluated on what you said, Paula. Yeah, just get more informed as a consumer.
And push government and companies as well, because they are actually the one that has the power to change it all.
Yeah, totally. I think like if you are a fashion practitioner, if you have a brand or work in a company, well, all of us are citizens, so we all can help, can be interested, and can push governments, can push brands. But especially if you're a practitioner, I think it's part of your responsibility to be cautious of the materials you're using, the process of designing, how you talk to your customers, what are your values, what do you want to achieve, maybe answering all of these questions. It's very much linked to the whole fashion supply chain, the whole fashion system we live in. It's, yeah, as Paolo was talking about for the last 25 minutes, linked to colonialism, which is directly linked to, consumption habits, because the people who are making most of our clothes are people from global south. Yeah, just get informed, and maybe push governments and brands to change something. It's lots of work sometimes, but sometimes not.
Guys, thank you very much. We should move on to the next speaker. I saw just one last comment. Veronica Balson is saying, I believe it is about individuals and personal values. All of us need to be aware where we are on this journey and set up internal compass and next goal level. I don't think it can be elevated at once. Thank you for this contribution. That's indeed and follow Fashion Revolution's work. Fashion Revolution's work. We have many amazing documents and projects you can access and take part, set by Executivo Brasil. We will share with you this presentation where Paula mentioned a lot of things that you can follow on. So hopefully in the future you will be studying a bit more on that and learn about the topic. Maybe join some of the interesting events, or even initiate your own, as also was discussed in the previous session last week. So thank you very much, Martin and Paula, for this nice blog. And I would like to now welcome the next speakers actually, from Nazemi, which is a Czech organization, and the speakers are Anna Lazarova, who is an expert in labor condition in the garment industry. Welcome. And then Eliška Hanzlova, who is educator in global education and methodologies, and they will speak about transformational education. So I would like to welcome and thank you for coming. Hello.
What a joy to follow up after wonderful work you are doing. I'm really getting inspired. So thank you, Paula and Martin, for that. I'm sure we will be in touch anyway. So my name is Anna, and I'm here today with my colleague Eliška. We will be splitting the presentation because I'm more focused on the topic, and she is more focused on the methods and how to get it to the people and in a real transformative way. So just very briefly, Nazemi is an NGO based in Czech Republic. We started as a volunteer group back in 2003, and at that time we focused on global education and alternative trade models such as fair trade, or some commodities such as cotton or clothes or cocoa, coffee, and this kind of like partial issue. But over time we have evolved into a more holistic approach where we are trying to combine the issues on a more systemic level. We grew much more critical, also critical towards the system, which I will openly name as capitalism, because we have not named it before, I think, but it was something there, I think. And we are also a self-organizing collective, and we try to implement our vision, which you can see in front of you, which is a world where the needs of all people are met within planetary boundaries. And we try to make this, or like try to find ways how to put this into practice through several focus areas, which are on the next slide. So we do focus on the education in times of crisis, and Eliška will talk more about it in a little bit. Then we promote the degrowth in times of the overload of consumption. We see this as a way forward and a hopeful way to find a way out of the system that we are right now struggling in. We also try to focus on facilitation and help other groups and collectives with facilitation of their group processes, because we believe it is key in these times of lonely individualism. And then last but not least, we focus also on the just transition of the garment industry, which is something that I feel passionate about. But what is important is that in our work, we try to combine aspects from all of these areas in all that we do. So we do not exist in separate pillars, but we rather try to combine this. We can go to next slide, please. Just briefly, I feel like I would like to introduce our perspective on the fashion industry, or how we approach it, also in our education and educational workshops and formats. So we do have like a unique mix of approaches and expertise. We have been working on the fashion industry for last 15 years, so since 2010. And our main focus here is the working conditions and the social aspects. So we are not that much focused on environmental issues, although we do use them in the educational work, for example, as examples, but our focus stays on workers and people. We are also part of the Clean Clothes campaign, which is a global network of more than 200 organizations, including trade unions, consumer organizations, campaigning organizations, institutes, whatever, various organizations. And we have been highlighting issues in this industry for over 35 years in this coalition. And within the Clean Clothes campaign, we are currently exploring what is a just transition for this extremely unsustainable industry. So what does that mean is that in fashion, the just transition should be about ensuring justice during and also after the change to a low carbon fashion system. And for us, the justice means respecting and protecting workers' rights, including living wage, freedom of association, social protection, health and safety measures, and freedom from harassment and discrimination. And it also means that companies are held accountable for damage to people and the environment. So these are like the key points that we focus on. And our priority is always to ensure that each version of a different operating business model reflects the needs of workers. And we also try to reframe the conversation and the narrative in the fashion as to where the problem stems from. This reframing helps us to move from issues of consumption and overconsumption towards overproduction and inequality as systemic issues. And it's this unique combination of expertise in the topic itself and the approach of global education then helps us to create concrete educational formats that I would like Eliška to introduce, if you can. So maybe next slide then.
Okay, thank you, Anna. So I will talk a bit about our principles of education. And the framing is like lasting change, like the people actually go through some changes, interpersonal or others. And what we discovered in the last 20 years or more, when we do basically global education, but as Anna said, we changed a lot and we discovered a lot of different approaches during these years. And for example, like some different pedagogical approaches, like pedagogical constructivism or critical pedagogy. And we also changed our view of how the global education should look like. And nowadays it's much more in this decolonialistic manner, as was mentioned quite like a few minutes ago, which is very important because most of the organizations we know in Czech Republic are very based in like this like more like colonialistic approaches, even though they try to make it different. But let's say that we are in this inspiration for other organizations in this area. So our education is basically focused on high schoolers and students in a university, and also very much on adults, mostly educators, both in formal and non-formal education, institutions, organizations, and so on. And what we discovered and what we like to talk about right now are these principles that I will talk about. So we found out that long-term and regular education is much better than short-term and irregular, like one-time workshop has much less impact than long-term formats. This is like on the first line, very, this is like really important. We like to strengthen critical thinking skills and systemic thinking because the world is very complex and all the problems in the world are complex, and we need young people and teachers and educators to understand it better. So we try to do this. This is, in my opinion, very weak in educational system in Czech Republic. So we try to repair some damage. We also think that it's really important to be participative. So we invite the participants to tell us what they want to learn, how they want to learn it, what does work for them the best, and stuff like this. So they are actually part of how it will work. It's important that the education is connected with the life of the participants. So we are not schools that are quite far away from the real life. We are trying to address the questions that they really have and the sadness or joys that they live through every day. We want the education to lead to emancipation and real action, so the people and the participants really feel empowered to actually go and do something or talk. It's a collective. We think we don't have all the right answers. We don't know the whole truth, and we know that in the group we all learn from each other. So we also make we mostly have these formats where everyone is actually a participant. It's relational, which means that in good relationships, it's better learning and it's long-lasting learning. And this is quite heavily connected with the long-term, because through time you have better and better relationships, and the learning can be much deeper. And it's holistic. We try to not only talk and discuss, but we have this concept of head, heart, hands, when we try to engage the whole of the person. So there are arts, and there is a lot of music in Na Zemi, and there is a lot of heart in it. So please, next slide. For example, some of the good practices that we can talk about. We have a long-term program for young adults that is called Generation Symbiose. That is probably the most thought through and long program we ever had for these young people. Mostly they are already activists, but they are very young, and we try to like make higher their resilience and resistance and all these things that they need to have to actually sustain their activism in a good way, to be in harmony and not to burn out in 2 or 3 years. So we focus on personal development, but also on teamwork. And because the program is really long, it's over the whole year for 6 to 8 weekend meetings. It really helps, and all the participants go through the whole program, so it really helps with deep relationships and deep learning to actually, and they are very changed after this program. In the project, we actually have right now focused on just transition in textile industry. We developed some textile-based workshops and other workshops. They are currently in like work. It's in work in progress. So we don't have them right now for you, but we can come somewhere and do them. And greenwashing workshop, where we focus on the needs that are behind our shopping and our consumption, and we are trying to ask, can we like fulfill these needs in other ways than shopping? Like what is the reason behind consuming on the end of the people who actually buy things, not the workers? So these are really interesting discussions with the participants. We are preparing a long-term fashion program for people actively engaged in social activism. And I will show you right now some handbooks with activities and a poster. So next slide, please. We have several methodical handbooks that you can download from our website. You will have the links in this presentation afterwards. These handbooks are mostly for educators. There are like the whole activities written down, all the pictures or videos and everything that you need to actually do some activity. We have some of them are around the like specific topics in textile industry, for example, the shoes or the cotton, and these, and also outdoor fashion, like like the gear we need to go in the high mountains. So that's the how to be outside and stay in. So these are very specific, and then we have some publications that are more they are full of different activities from all around the topics and of global education, not just fashion industry. Like Undercover, it's like really big book full of activities just ready to deliver to students or participants, and the Portfolio of Global Education, which is the newest one. Some of these are kind of old in the terms that you can find there are not really data from 2020 something. There are some data from 2010 and something, or even earlier. So I'm just saying this so you are aware of that, but they are still very well built and they still deliver the message we want to deliver. We also have the last one is a compass. It's called Buzola in Czech Republic, and that is full of activities for non-formal education that is like specifically made for this different environment. And we have poster. This is a very nice educational, like let's say like didactic thing. We already worked with posters in our big project Futuropolis, the School of Emancipation, and we collaborate with this artist, Maria Lukáčová. She's a Czech artist, and she works with us on these posters, which are full of some kind of concept about different topics. And this is a very new one. It's only a few weeks old. It's about transformation of textile and garment industry. And it's like a really huge one. It's on the wall behind me. It's A1 format. And it really works well for like starting the discussion about things that are hidden or seen around textile industry, and or it can also frame what we want to learn about it. So this is like a didactic thing that we developed. We also have another topics in the posters. For example, a school it's like the main topic of the poster is school, inequality, work, climate change, gender, health, and census. And they all have this huge format, and it really works very well for starting the discussion and or framing what we want to learn. So I send it to Anna back.
Yes, and I would like to mention about the poster that it is not language dependent, so it can be used in any environment. And we do have the methodology, or like a methodic paper for that also in English. So if you are interested, just let me know afterwards. The link there is also working, so you can have a look how does it look on the website. So we can go to the next slide. And I will just be very brief because I see that we are running out of time a bit. But I just wanted to stress that we know that we cannot teach others what we do not live ourselves. So we do try to change also our lives and to turn the ideas and the vision that I shown you into even smaller or by even larger practical actions and activities. So just the concrete examples from the clothes segment, it would be that we do have a free box in our office where people can share clothes they do not need or want, and others can take it. So I practically haven't had to buy clothes for several years now. And we also organize events where you can repair your clothes, just to show that this might be the most radical thing that you can do in the society that stems from consumerism. And we can go to the last one. So in conclusion, I would like to thank you for listening, but I have 3 invitations for you. If there's anything that you heard today that you would like to know more or just discuss, get in touch with me. I'm always happy to hear your thoughts. Another one is that if you speak Czech, you can sign up for our newsletter. Unfortunately, it's in Czech, but we also post it only 4 times a year, so no spam in your mailbox. But we really put a lot of heart to that, so we really try to make it as relevant as possible. And the last one is like a unique opportunity to have your say on what a just transition in the fashion industry might look like. So I would like to invite you to have a look at our portal on Manifesto, where you can discuss various topics and join the conversation on what is the next step for the fashion industry. And this is an activity of the Clean Clothes campaign, which is open for all people who are interested in it. And I find it would be really relevant to have your opinions and inputs in that. So thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, we are open, but we are also running a bit of time. So I would leave it to Alexandra to manage that.
Thank you very much to Anna and Eliška for amazing presentation, and especially thank you so much for sharing with us and everyone present here all the materials. I'm super happy, and I will myself also look into it because it looks so interesting, and I'm sure that we might find some nice clues and methodologies also for some activities we do with the young people and many of others here too. So thank you for that too. And yeah, of course, if there are any questions now from the guests, feel free. Yes, so coordinator Yarina from our organization is wants to ask something. So
Yeah, I'd like to ask. I have two questions. They're different, but probably Anna and Eliška can answer them separately. The first question is how not to burn out from activism. What could you recommend? Because as you've mentioned, that it's possible to burn out in a couple of years. So I wonder what to do or which are the tips not to burn out. And the second one is which needs can be fulfilled instead of the need of shopping. Thank you.
I will try to address the needs. Okay, so we piloted, we tried the workshop with several groups, and part of the workshop is that we are actually looking for different ways of how to fulfill the needs. But on the beginning, we name the needs. And there is like self-presentation or connecting with others, like be part of the group, right? So you have to look at a certain way and stuff like this. So we were looking for, and in each group, it works differently because they have different background. But we look into it more deeply and we talk with the group. What can you do to each, like as a group, to actually welcome everyone here and feel seen and respected? And even though he doesn't have, I don't know, expensive shoes or I don't know, whatever, or everything is black or stuff like this. So yeah, so it's actually different for everyone. It's different for every generation. It's different for every subculture. So I can't really answer, but it's important to discuss it with the group, and the group can make like steps so they have the needs fulfilled, not by shopping, but with other activities.
Okay, I will try to tackle the next one, but I will just follow up on that. The workshop that is focused on the needs will also have an English version that will be available. It's work in progress right now, but in the autumn we should have a dissemination. So it should be, so it should be also on our website, but also on other websites, because it's also done in one of the Erasmus projects. So that will be available to you as well. So hopefully we can somehow keep in touch and get it to other people who are interested, or just get in touch with me. So I will try to answer your first one, but I have to say I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm doing it for 15 years and I'm still here, but I have seen many people burn out, and I think it's very easy to burn out also for younger people and also for people who feel very alone in the issue. So this is also a feedback we get from our seminars or workshops, that people who also feel passionate feel alone when their environment is not respecting their views, or they are viewed as, as some kind of weird person. In our country, that would mean that you get a communist sticker on your head, but otherwise, so they don't have anybody to support them. So my first idea how to prevent burnout would be to get the support of a group and to find like-minded people. And also what we do is that we try to equip people with some kind of competencies that can help them, for example, to structure the time, the meetings, to find ways how to communicate in a non-violent way. So there are these small things that, when combined, they can help you somehow to not only survive but to thrive. But it's also very individual, and I do not have a cohesive and complex answer for how to not burn out.
Paula also added that it's so important to join an activist community to feel included. Yeah, it's also the way not to burn out. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any more questions? Okay. If not, I would like to say once again, Anna and Eliška, thank you so much. It was super nice, and also I'm very looking forward to hopefully join some of local activities that you do, or learn a bit more about it to even maybe spread the message in our community, and to see if some young people might be interested in something that you do. And yeah, and now I would like to welcome here Ana Maria Mileusnic from Croatia, from Zelena Akcija organization, and she will be talking about her local initiatives and volunteering initiatives as a tool to education and inspiration through fashion in Croatia, specifically about upcycling workshops and the swap. So welcome, Ana Maria, if you're here.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm Anna. I come from Zelena Akcija, which is part of Friends of the Earth international network. So it's the biggest network of environmental organization in the world. We are mainly grassroots organized, and but working also on many different levels of achieving systemic change. So you can go next slide, maybe. Yeah, so this is it. So as part of our work on waste, we are working on textile waste prevention, but it's so much more than that, because it's not what we realize after the years. It's not just about waste; it's about saving our resources. So mainly from the perspective of saving resources while improving the quality of life, which is also one of our strategic goals. We started, so yeah, maybe now the question, next slide, please, would be what exactly is community-led reuse and repair. We had now, and yeah, thanks for all the speakers. It was very interesting to hear all the initiatives, and I also feel very inspired. And there was like a lot of talk on what we can do as individuals, or that we need to advocate on the policy level and rely on legislation that could help us to solve the problem. But what we are talking about here is some things in between. So it's a community rather than individual aspect. And it would mean that it cherishes collaborative learning processes. So it provides meaningful and fun opportunities to learn and to develop new skills together as a part of community. So it's our initiatives are mainly based off individuals that share the same interests and values, and they are willing to give their free time for to help and support their communities. They can do something meaningful for the society, and so it's also gives the opportunity for them to feel useful, but also fostering friendships and everything that was already previously discussed. And it is also a way how to do things together. So each of us knows a little bit, but when we are all together, we know a lot, and that's how we operate. So there are no experts. There are people who have more experience, people who have less experience. Then if we travel, we go somewhere, we see something, we bring it to community, and that's how we build the knowledge all together. So it doesn't stay just, so community can change, many individuals can come, but the knowledge and the basis of skills stayed within, and it's something that is perpetuated, practiced, upgraded, and so on. What helped us, so we provide in Zelena Akcija, we provide it through monthly activities that we organize for citizens. We normally organize also, apart from textiles, also repair of small appliances and bicycle repair workshop. But our textile activities are focused on monthly swap parties, clothes swap parties, which are fun events that gather the whole community. There are many, I'm sure that you probably heard of, but it was kind of very inspirational for us here in Croatia, because we started it in 3 years ago during COVID, and we didn't know how it will work. We didn't have many resources, but from then on, it's been building up, and the momentum has been grown. And now we have swap parties in all over Croatia. We also, you will see later in resources, provide a toolkit, but it was kind of it started from just experimenting and hearing something also that, what we can do and what is something simple, and that's how we started it. Now we are at 33 already, just in our premises, but we are organizing them, we are guesting in some other places, and then we always try to teach another group how to do it by themselves. And yeah, now when we cannot even count how many are happening in the parallel, which is probably a good sign, and it means that it was spread as widely as possible. And as we always had some leftover clothes, that is, the point is that it is ran by volunteers. And since we had leftovers of clothes, that is also being donated and recycled as part of the social enterprise Humana from Croatia. But some parts we kept, and then we started a volunteer sewing collective, which also operates under the umbrella of Zelena Akcija. In part of our sewing collective, we are repairing stuff for free. Also, once a month, people can come, and then we learn together. You will see more pictures, but just so you can have the idea on what and how we are doing it. Next slide, please. Our main values that drive this approach in fashion and textile is, of course, starting from environmental and social justice, but then more on to anti-capitalism, because we don't believe that in a capitalist society we can achieve any fairness or sustainability, because the whole system is driven by growth and by producing and consuming more and more. So that is kind of our at the core of what we do. And as a response, we are building solidarity. We are empowering individuals and communities. We are creating culture of sharing rather than and exchanging rather than consuming. We cherish the support for local economies, because people learn the value of the repairs and clothes. So it is also returning dignity and respect to some of the professions that were that are now like forgotten or don't seem to have the value, because there is so much of cheap clothes everywhere around. So in that way, people learn about the process. They also see the problem of waste as in part of like swap parties. But then, because we are working together as a community, we have a strong emphasis on community building, and also, as it was also mentioned previously at this webinar, putting traditional practices in kind of a modern day use. So we are trying to nourish holistic, caring, and equitable relationship with our clothes, communities, and environment. So it's also rooted in ecofeminist principles, where we can work as a community all together rather than individuals, and to break this dualism that is often present, that is present in our society. So breaking this barrier between who can come, who can afford the clothes, and yeah. So thank you. Yeah, not to, because I know that we don't have much time left, so maybe next slide. And So how does it look like in practice? Now we can go through some of the pictures that we put. So this is kind of our motto: swap, don't shop. This is something that we carry everywhere. Next slide, please. So this is just in our space, which is in the city center. It's like a regular swap. And what is good is that like 100 meters from there is like all these fast fashion brands like Zara, H&M, and all these nasty stores. And then we offer alternative just at the heart of the city, so you can see how they gain popularity. People are queuing up just to have their clothes exchange. And this, for example, this was our beginning. This was our first one during COVID. We only had tables. And tokens, and we tried our best. But yeah, you can go on to see how it kind of developed and progressed. So this is still the beginning. And then, of course, when the weather is good, we have them outside, and inside they are like crowded. We also gained a lot of media attention, which I think also contributed to spreading the news about them. So this is some pictures of us having fun, because it was also how to keep this spirit. So what you can see now is that we also did some guest swap parties. This was at some youth cultural center in Zagreb. Next slide. You can, so that's the same event. Then we also had on, this was Black Friday, actually, we called it Green Friday. And then we offered direct swap in front of the stores and invite people to swap and avoid the madness. Then also super consumeristic Advent was turned into a swap as well last year. We are trying to infiltrate different spaces, and this was a marketplace. Then as part of some other like side events like film festivals, we have like mini swaps. So we are trying to promote it as a good practice rather than a space. So it's more of community that is behind rather than like a specific space. That was our emphasis. So this, you can see, this is Shivpop, our sewing collective. We all work together. Yeah, we can continue. Further, we upcycle stuff from. So if anybody has any idea what to do, then we do it. Or each and then people come if they have holes or if they want to produce something or start a new project or whatever. We are meeting every week, we are meeting every week, and once a month we have for public, but every week we meet as volunteers, and that's where we brainstorm, where the creativity is at in its highest level, so we get ideas on what to do at our next workshop. People can come. We accept up to 10 people. And then they apply, they say what they want to upcycle or what they need to repair. We see if it's possible. If yes, they come, and then they leave very happy, as you can see on pictures. We always consult each other in between, we are kind of, now we have a core team, but now once we build a core team, anyone can join at every point, because we already have a methodology. So next slide, please. Who can get involved? So everyone, and our focus is on it to be accessible to different groups. So for example, now where it's Pride Month, we organize specific LGBTIQ+ swap party. with a goal to break the binarism in clothes, and also to help trans people to find maybe their new like look or fashion or whatever. So we provide a safer space and support. We also encourage the members of that community, because we first started a collaboration together with to learn also how to include and how to build safer spaces. And now we are offering them, we service them. Our volunteers are educated how to do it. So we also encourage people to bring some expensive things that are needed for transition, such as like binders or wigs or more unusual swap stuff. And for example, we have this idea of also creating upcycle projects. We still haven't started that, but as part of queer culture and supporting, for example, ballroom events where people can put their creativity together and do some fun projects. We especially encourage people who are how to say, they don't need to be activists in order to join. So these practices are very much accessible to everyone, and organizing, we especially encourage neighborhood initiatives to organize them, schools as well, workplaces, like somebody also mentioned that you in your office have like a swap place. So this is something what we see now, that NGOs that are not even, like, for example, oriented towards environment or textiles, they still organize it for their employees, and also for it is very good practice for any type of I would say businesses, as long as it's not presented as greenwashing. And what we also now the big debate is on for how long are also swap parties sustainable, but this is maybe a bigger debate, because what people bring is often also poor quality because of fast fashion. But then again, that is the only thing that some people have or are in possession of. So at this moment, like for example in Croatia, we cannot ban on our swap parties. We cannot have this elitist approach and say you cannot bring fast fashion items. But hopefully just by offering this alternative, people see how if we are really in need of something small, that we can rather grab it at some place rather than buy new thing and then support the whole industry and everything that goes along with the supply chain. So next slides, please. You can see, so this was on the left, this was our LGBTIQ swap. And on the right side, you can see our new project, latest campaign that we have been doing together with the Multimedial Institute of Zagreb in promoting workers' rights. We are particularly we find particularly problematic the fact that in Zagreb we now have many foreign workers that are living in and working in unhuman condition while facing attacks from the society and lots of racism and violence. So in order to tackle that and to have some collaboration also to build this intersectional approach, we joined efforts with our bicycle repair workshop and Multimedial Institute, and we got workers' old bags that had to leave, of course, because of inhumane conditions. So they gave us their equipment, which we then upcycled into next slide. You can see we first had to tear them apart, and then we created prototypes. One is the bicycle bag on the left side, and this one is pizza safety pizza, thing that you put on the bike. So, but then it leads you with this QR code. It leads you to the the website. If you can send the link, I think I sent it to the chat or something if you want to check that out. And it's informing about the campaign. And today, actually, as we speak, we have an event where people are grabbing them. So it's just a recent project. There are many, so we hope to have more people on bicycle that are kind of building solidarity with the workers. So this is what we prototyped and created. Yeah, lastly, I think we are at the final. Is this the last? Yeah, no, thank you. So what resources are needed? We started develop more structural methodology as part of Erasmus Plus project towards communities of reuse practice. So you can find also our manual toolkit that we produced as part of the project, where we meticulously kind of put all the steps that are needed and all the resources you need to organize. But you can, as you could see, you can start from something very, very small, and then it can grow into something big. So the biggest resources, I would say, are enthusiasm, motivation, and like the whole community that is interested. That's the main resource. And then once you have this, you can have the rest pretty much easy. And in this toolkit, you can find these tips and tricks, and also how to work with people, how to keep volunteers engaged, how not to burn out, and everything. And if you scan this QR code, it's part of the manual. You can also find it in the manual, toolkit. If you scan it, it leads you directly to the graphic design of Swap Party, which is open source, and we are now trying to brand Swap Party as something that when people see it, they immediately connect it with swapping, and then to build like a brand that is actually a non-brand. So that was the idea. So feel free to use it. I would be very happy if you don't even have to tell us, but we would be really happy if we see it somewhere at any of the events you decide to organize. And yeah, I hope that this kind of inspired you maybe to think of what you can do. Because yeah, we believe that all the swaps and all these textile prevention activities that we do, they don't need to be related to NGOs or any specific place. They need to belong to a community. NGOs can support them, but they need to come from the community and for the community. So that's where I will stop the presentation. Thanks everyone for your attention. And if you have any questions, I am happy to answer.
Thank you, Anna, very much. Thank you a lot. Also, thank you for the brochure. Actually, for everyone, Yara, she shared the links from Anna's presentation in the chat if you want to access it straight away. If not, we will share the presentation with you anyway, so you can access it anytime after. And yeah, I would like to ask if there are any questions for Anna. Now you can ask, or any comments or anything you would like to share with her. Okay. Yeah. Question from Marta Quaresma. I hope I'm reading it well. Sorry. If you could change one thing in the global fashion system overnight, what would it be?
I mean, I would break the global part. I don't think it needs to be global. A global can serve as inspiration, like a global inspiration, rather than a global consumption. So it would be deglobalize it and decentralize and making it accessible while still maintaining the good quality of materials and good care. that is something that that we often forget to do with our clothes, and that's why it doesn't have any. That's why we are not as connected with it, because we just like consume and drop, and while having this principle of care for what we already have and knowing the value, and maybe willing to change rather than consume. So that I would change, but definitely not. I don't personally, and also what Zelena Akcija I think is advocating for is against the industry, like as it is, because that's the thing that drove us to this place where we are in the first, the main driver of that, because it's driven by the need of like to supply rather than the demand for clothes. So yeah, I would say that.
Thank you, Anna. And I see that Martin is raising hand.
Yeah, so it's inspiring to hear about how you're entering different spaces with your swabs. Did it cause any dialogue, or was anyone like reacting to that? Maybe from the public, the policy sphere, or maybe the brands. Do you have any experience with that?
Unfortunately, these were just greenwashing attempts from the industry, but we were recognized because we were approached by Inditex. They wanted us to promote their workers' old Inditex clothes. And then what that they would sell, kind of, and then we would earn that money, and then so not only that, but we will earn double of what we earn. We of course did not engage with that idea, but it was fun to see how we were kind of recognized as an actor in this field and someone who can influence and the community. So but from our idea is that more of like municipalities would be interested in that, but so far we were mainly contacted by neighborhood initiatives, so, and many. So they would be now, for example, in my neighborhood that I moved to, I didn't even know that there are interested people and they want to do it here as part in the neighborhood center. So that is, I think, very good places to do, and it also connects you with your neighbors. Sometimes you don't even know who lives in your neighborhood, so I think it's a good idea also to break this alienation that that is caused by consumerism and capitalist system itself.
Thank you.
But the reactions are mainly positive of people. We have never seen anyone who was disappointed or angry or negative about it. Just curious, and then but positively surprised, and then we see it more and more people come back, and then the community grows.
Thank you very much, Anna, and thank you, Martin, for the question. Since we are way over 7 p.m. is already originally planned, I would like to ask maybe for the very last question of the webinar, if there is anything you would like to add or comment, feel free to do so now, please, because we will slowly have to come to an end. Okay, so no hand raised, no comment in the chat room. So hereby I would like to say thank you. Thank you to Martin, thank you to Paula, Anna, Eliška, so she had to leave, and you, Anna, of course, also, and to all of you for great presentations, great examples of good practice, and also amazing amount of resources that can serve for the others and also for us. So I'm very happy that we managed this too. During the presentation, there were questions asked, but of course, if anyone here wants to reach out to the guest anytime later to ask them additional question, join them, maybe restart their own initiatives, of course, feel free to use. You will have the contact in the presentation. Here is also contact of Youth Progress, our youth association from Prague. We'd be also happy if you have any additional questions regarding the project, Why the Future, also we're here. And I also thank to everyone who joined to listen. So we hope that we brought you some inspiration and nice ideas, and you will receive all the materials from today, plus the presentation with all the links. So you can go through it also later. And of course, if anytime you want to reach out, we will be happy to hear from you. So thank you very much with this. This is how we're getting to an end with the second and the last webinar on the Where the Future Life. So thank you very much. I'm happy that we get so many interesting projects. And who knows, maybe in the future we will also manage to cooperate to something else, and I would be more than happy. So thank you very much, everyone, and we will be in contact. So thank you, and I wish you have a nice evening, and good luck with your projects too.